Good morning, SPs. How is everyone today? I hope everyone's had a good night's sleep and is ready for the day to begin. We got Joe here. We got Cricket here. It's going to be a great day, Joe. So, okay, let's start because I've got so much today. You'd think I would have the share screen prepared in advance, but at this point, you'd think I'd know this by now. Let's make sure I get the right one queued up. Here it is. So first one, I want to share the other section of the Tori Magoo and Janice Gillum Grady interview that I wanted to show earlier in the week. All right. Is it sharing? Let me just double check that. It is. Okay, good. So far, so good. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Big Chief. Welcome in. All right, here we go.
I have to give also these little messages because I know they watch me and there you go. Let's do that. Okay, Janice, when was the last time you saw Hubbard?
That was December 1979. We were living at X, which was an apartment building in Hemet. And we had we'd purchased Massacre Canyon Inn by now, where in my previous story, the Gold Base.
Oh,
Inn.
Okay. What did you call it?
Gilman Hot's Massacre Canyon Inn.
Oh.
It's a little town called Gilman Hot Springs, right between San Jacinto and Hemet. It's right in that area. And it was a golf course.
It's San Jacinto. Anyway, it's from my area, so I know.
A resort. It was a mineral hot mineral.
Yeah, hot springs.
Hot springs.
There.
Yeah.
I just hadn't heard that name.
Yeah. So, well, that's why MCI, Massacre Canyon Inn, we used to call the dining room area MCI. And then the whole place used to be called MCI. And we, after doing the photo shoots there, doing the films, Kimma found out it was in bankruptcy and was up for auction. So she told Hubbard about it. And that's when he was like, okay, let's put in a bid on it. And we won the bid.
Anyway, we don't need to hear this whole story, but if you want to go back and look at it, look at Tori Magoo 44's channel. She did an excellent interview with Janice Gillum Grady. It was a lot of fun. I was all throughout the chat asking questions, and I had a lot of fun chatting with these ladies. Next, we have a clip from Scientology about elderly Scientology members. Let's make sure I share all the tabs today. I didn't the other day. Actually, let me just check chat, make sure you could hear it. Could you guys hear it okay? Yeah, Kathy, it was a great conversation. These two ladies are full of so many facts. So a lot was learned. Can you guys hear okay? I'm checking. I don't want a repeat of prior mistakes. Someone should answer me. Maybe you can't hear me. Maybe that's my answer. Are we connected? Is everyone awake? Okay, Cricket can hear. Okay, yes. My computer might be slow. That's probably why it seemed like it took a while to get to me. All right, let's watch Scientology in action.
It's okay to leave a Sea Org. The Aftermath Foundation can help you leave. You're worth more than $47 a week. Elderly abuse in Scientology is not okay.
It's supposed to be in the, like.
It's okay to leave a Sea Org.
You know, Ashley is nothing but consistent. She's out there all the time talking to these people. She's filming all the time. She might not put it all on live. She does a lot of just recording, but she drops little nuggets like this. But she's there all the time. She does so much.
Freeloader jet is not enforceable. 888 FREE 002.
You can't assume either.
Shout out to Scientology. That is Ashley Ramirez. Please check her out. She does a lot of great work. She's a very great supporter of so many other people too, like Lara. Okay, now we have T, who used to be, I don't know why I have to say this every time, Perth Scientology audit, and now she is a voice down under, and she has the truth about OT3 ?
Important message to all public, Scientologists, ex-Scientologists, current sealed members and previous sealed members. I'm about to give to the public the true answer as to why the Church of Scientology International will not answer the question regarding the supposed and purported Xenu story of 75 million years ago. This is the true reason, and I'll explain it now. Currently, the public have been told that the Church of Scientology believes that on their operating Thetan level 3, that they uncover an incident whereby a galactic emperor called Xenu enslaves up to 13 trillion aliens and brings them to Earth, and then once they're here, they're trapped, in summary. But what is the real reason why the Church of Scientology won't talk about it? I'll explain this now. And the shocking thing is that most of the Scientologists that have in actual fact even done the Wall of Fire, OT3, do not even know this. The real reason
They hide
is that
information. They hide information from their members. It's all secret until you get to the upper levels, as Doug was explaining yesterday.
in 1967, when L. Ron Hubbard created the Sea Organization aboard the boat and made himself a Commodore, a naval rank, leader of this cult called the Sea Organization, he outlined in a policy letter that he had uncovered that not only were psychiatrists apparently previous members of this galactic emperor's staff, but that the World Bank and its members were also primary loyal officers of Xenu, and that they were here back on Earth to carry out this absurd mission of taking over humanity. He labeled all the World Bank leaders as members of the Xenu party. He also stated in this policy letter, not a confidential teaching, that Xenu was here on Earth still to this day, awaiting for them to gain control of the world finances and population.
We know Xenu's still here. We've seen him in Miriam's protest Scientology up north. He comes all the time. He's got a BFF with benefits, Xenu and Davy Miscavige. We see him all the time. So check out A Voice Down Under. T does great work. She does very informative pieces. She does funny pieces. She does a wide range of content. It's really a good channel. Next, we have Liz Gale on Scientology and Christianity. A Lie, Confessions of an Ex-Scientologist. She has a book out right now. Guys, check out her book.
So here is something I found really interesting. Joy Vila, who also, she wore like the MAGA dresses. She's out of Scientology, but she was a Scientologist. She asked Craig Jensen if Charlie Kirk was a Scientologist. She asked him.
Yes, the Charlie Kirk.
Straight up. Wrote to him. Craig Jensen wrote this back. I was introduced to Charlie by a good friend from Palm Beach. I then put on an event for Charlie at my home in Clearwater and gave him an OSA escorted tour of the flag building. He was blown away. I gave him a copy of the Causes of Suppression booklet, and he later said that it saved his life.
Scrolling, sorry. Well, maybe that's our clue to move on. So that is Liz Gale. Please check her out. She puts out a lot of great content. Next, we have a clip from Apostate Alex, and talking about how Scientology wants to donor their big double their big donor list this year. He got privy to some secret memos, insider memos.
Scientology is a very leaky ship indeed. And today, I'm going to be bringing you information about Scientology's goals for 2026. Yes, that's right. We are talking about a memo that was shared with Scientologists who work for the church here in the UK about the goals for Scientology's official membership body, the IAS, the International Association of Scientologists. This is a memo that wasn't meant to be, sent to an enemy of the church, such as myself. And it paints a very interesting picture as to what Scientology hopes to achieve this year. We also have some pictures from inside Scientology's only UK school, Greenfields, that were sent to me very recently. I want to share those with
Check out Apostate Alex. He has his finger on the pulse of Scientology, and he gets privy to a lot of insider details that are fascinating, and he does great work too. Apostate Alex. Next, I want to play an insider's account from Eyes to See. Now, I wrote notes on this one. This is from a 2010 Australian ABC article.
She says she signed a billion-year contract as a 12-year-old. Lived on the Scientology vessels, the Royal Scotsman. I think that was later changed to the Free Ones, I think. And the Athena, and was, in effect, a child slave. Because, governments be approving and signing off on all that. When we were on the ship, we had people working 20 hours a day, 7 days a week, she said. It was a nightmare for me and my brother for most of our lives. We were separated from our mother because she was in the Sea Org. A lot of children hadn't seen their parents for months, and their parents were on the same ship. Janice talks about that in her book. I believe Janice didn't see her mother almost like a huge part of her childhood. And her mom did try to get back to her. It was messed up. She says what she saw happen to one child, a 6-year-old boy named Larry, still haunts her today. I've carried him with me all my life and want to put it on record. What I saw, she said. Oh, I think I know. This one always makes me cry. While working on one of the Sea Org boats, which was a former cattle ship, Karen heard a clinking sound and found the boy in the hold. Larry was chained by his leg, and he was there for a few days.
Chained up by his legs and put in the chain locker on the ship, and had been there for days. 6-year-old boy. There's reports of children as young as 4 being thrown in the chain locker. It's disgusting. Working 20 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's horrible, the things that they did on those ships. They were lawless, completely lawless on those ships. Next, we have Growing Up in Scientology. Aaron Smith Levin displays a section of the interview with Mimi Faust and Reality with the King, Carlos King. And Aaron adds interesting perspective to it as he goes through it. So I want to play his version. Whoops, I got to share the tab.
You had a very interesting life growing up. Can you explain to the audience exactly what that was about for you?
Yes. So I went from normal upbringing, or what I thought was very normal. My mother was introduced to Scientology.
Scrolling.
And just went balls to the wall. Sold everything, our house furniture, everything we had. Took me because I was the youngest child, and we moved to LA to the Scientology headquarters, the Big Blue Building. And my life has never been the same. Like literally, I was there until I was 13 when they kicked me out.
Why they kicked you out?
They said I was a freeloader because I would not sign the billion-year contract to work for them in their organization.
The billionaire contract?
Billion-year contract.
Billion years?
A billion years. That was their contract that they presented to.
You make a child sign a billion-year contract, you enslave them for life mentally. I mean, there's no such thing as them working for an actual billion years, but mentally what that does to a child is it ingrains in them that they can never leave.
The members that are in their organization, and they wanted me to sign it, and I was like, absolutely not.
But what does that entail?
You're there for life. That's what it entails. You don't leave. They believe in reincarnation. So when you die, or they call it dropping your body, when you drop this body, you come back and you keep fulfilling your obligation to them for a billion years, which is absurd. And I understood that at 13, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't think I want to do it. So they say either you sign this or you get out. And so I've been on my own since I was 13.
I got to pause it right there. You guys, some of you guys would have seen the video that I did just a few days ago about Thierry Chiquet out of Switzerland. And I mean, the most heartbreaking part of Thierry's story is when he, as a child, with his mother being a member of the Sea organization, exactly like what Mimi is talking about, when he was put out onto the streets of Copenhagen, Denmark, without any money, without the knowledge, without his mother even knowing that he was being put out onto the street, where he remained homeless for 8 months, fending for himself as a child. And it didn't even occur to me when I was reading the news article or the news piece that was published about Thierry, that it's almost the exact same thing that happened to Mimi Faust. And that the fact that such a similar thing happened to two people on, two opposite sides of the planet, probably different decades, even different generations, because this happened to Mimi in the 80s. It just reinforces why I call Scientology a family-destroying human trafficking cult. The core fundamental beliefs of Scientology, their core fundamental spiritual beliefs are such that it completely devalues the family unit. It devalues relationships, familial relationships in particular. And that belief system leads to this type of treatment. This is not an abuse of Scientology. This is Scientology. This is not a misapplication of Scientology. This is the application of Scientology.
This is Scientology. Check out Aaron Smith Levin. He puts out a lot of good content. He did the story he talked about Thierry Chiquet and discusses that and the Mimi Faust. And I appreciated his comparisons. Just to give...
Mother let you leave.
Walk right.
That wasn't supposed to start again. Just to give full information, here is Reality with the King, the Carlos King channel. And you can check out the full interview with Mimi Faust here. Okay, next we have Lara FM. She did an interview with Chris Shelton. Here we go.
Lord of the Flies-ish.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I had another question about that. It'll come back to me. Sorry, I totally mind blanked there.
It's okay.
Sorry about that.
And I want people to remember, like, the ranch was really secluded because it was on Indian reservation property, Native Indian reservation property.
Oh,
and
right.
So it was really, I don't know, clever, but also completely manipulative and illegal that, they would have, if child services was called or somebody was like, hey, I hear kids screaming, swearing, which happened a lot, they would call the police or, the local sheriff or whatever it was. I wouldn't know because we didn't know. And then they would have to notify the chief of the tribe to get onto the property because you have to have permission.
They ran drills with the kids to show them how to respond and how to fake perform for these police officers.
And so then the chief would notify the IC, the ranch in charge, the overall head guy of the ranch, Dan Perbilski, to that the sheriff or the police were coming on. And then the cadets and the kids of these people were trained to literally act and be and PR the fuck out of whoever was coming, no matter what was going on. We were trained and drilled and programmed to act and be a certain way. Literally. And again, they call everybody coming onto the base a WOG. So it's
so they see us as others. They see us as another race, proving again how racist Scientology and the use of the word WOG is extremely racist. And that's what they use to describe anyone who is not a Scientologist. And they're supposedly the most ethical people on the planet. Okay. All right. Here we have next a fun one from Church of Scientology sent to me by Buttercup.
The staff. They, in turn, will direct our field operatives when the time comes. This way, you see, there are several layers between me and any operational activities. If anyone ever gets caught, and statistically, some will, they can only point to Mary Sue and the Guardian's office. My involvement remains theoretical, deniable. In April of 1973, that's 10 years from now, I'll write something called Guardian Order 732. That will be the official launch of what we're calling Operation Snow White.
Church of Scientology does such good work, really funny stuff, really informative at the same time. Appreciate you, Church of Scientology. Thank you for what you do. Next, we have Audit LA was at the Ethics Commission just yesterday with Laura FM.
And the worst part is that even though they know better that they're not allowed to prevent pedestrians, they put it as a partial, local only can have access to the sidewalks, which
she's talking about the permit violations, specifically the ones done at the Shrine Auditorium for their New Year's event.
Is illegal, okay? And they know this. The city attorney has already stated it. And they had Scientology people who are making less than $50 a week, okay? They're like, like modern day indentured servitude, okay? Checking everyone's IDs who want to go past, in the sidewalk.
Denying pedestrians access to public sidewalks.
All to make sure they actually belong there. Okay, so what if they were DoorDash delivery people? What if they were visitors? It was a Scientologist that decided whether or not they got access to that sidewalk. That is
their permit violations are endless and consistent, and yet they still keep getting issued new permits by the Board of Public Works. We need to all call into the Board of Public Works at least once and let them hear our voices. Next, I have something new. I don't usually feature this person. It's Relatable Reese had a really interesting story about her dad joined the Sea Org at one point and immediately realized he didn't like being under such high control, and he blew. And then after he blew, Reese got talked into joining staff, and she shared a really tragic and interesting story from that time.
He starts traveling to play pool and make real money doing it. So he leaves, and it's just me. It's just me at home. We live in a pretty nice house in Omaha, Nebraska, but he starts leaving. At first he leaves for 2 days at a time. Then he started leaving for 5 days at a time. And then sometimes he'd leave for a week at a time. And he would leave money on the table. And I would walk up to a gas station a block from my house called the Town and Country. If you don't come up with the money, Michelle, they usually make you put it on a credit card. Most people in Scientology are hugely in credit card debt. Hey, Nicole Hazelmiller.
I started a business to give folks a new life.
What I hope to help you come to grips with, the outcome is inescapable.
So he leaves and he starts kind of adjusting me to it. At first I was like, I didn't like that. I was very freaked out. I mean, he started leaving me when I was 8 and he would leave for days. And the more he would leave me,
Reese raised herself, essentially.
I mean, I knew what to do. He would say, like, you know, you're still going to have your same routine, walk to school every day, walk home every day. Here's some money, walk up to the gas station. And I did. I remember walking up to that gas station all the time and buying like Snapple. I would
Such a lonely childhood, so she filled it with pets.
Get like candy. I got Laffy Taffy. Like I would get chips. It was just absolutely insane. But yes, he left all the time. And eventually I started to get used to it, but I was lonely and I love animals. So my father knew this and he started letting me accumulate animals. He was like, you want a dog? I'll get you a dog. And I think that was his way of, the more she has like that, the more babysitters, more she's busy, right? Like the happier she is. She doesn't think about needing, she's not telling. He told me not to tell anybody I was home alone. Like, of course I would go to school and no one knew. So I would keep myself busy and I got a dog and I got a cat, I got a ferret, I got a boa constrictor, I got a bearded dragon, and I got a guinea pig. And they were my best friends and they kept me very busy. And to this day, I have 5 animals. I mean,
her only companions were these pets.
I absolutely was raised by those animals. I loved those animals so much. I slept with all of them. My mother every day would make me chicken and stars Campbell's soup and a peanut butter and jelly. So he would take me to the store after my mom left and I would put tons of chicken and stars soup in the cart. And I would come home from school and I would sit in my little wicker chair I had and I would watch George Carlin and I would eat my peanut butter and jelly and I would do the same routine my mom did. I'm that way now. Like I eat canned soup around the clock. That's all I eat pretty much is soup. It's weird. But I would sit there and I would eat my peanut butter and jelly and I would feed pieces of it to my ferret, feed pieces of it to my Boston Terrier. I had a boa constrictor like wrapped over my head and around my neck like a necklace. And we all somehow made it and got along. I had I had a guinea pig named Geronimo. Like it was a full house and I loved it so much. And hey, Nancy, I'm glad you're here. And so he just let me have my animals, but he would leave and he would leave. Like he would be gone. And
sorry, this is a little longer, but it's worth hearing.
So what I would do is go to school. I'd walk home and I would watch constantly episode. I would watch, it was VHS and I would watch George Carlin and I'd rewind it and I'd watch it again. I'd rewind it and I'd watch it again. And I would watch Silence of the Lambs. Don't ask me why, but now I have like an obsession with old men and I'm in love with Anthony Hopkins to this day. I fell in love with his character. And that's all I would do. And I would just be at home. Michelle, that is so nice, babe. Thank you for the super sticker. I mean that, guys. That is so helpful. You have no idea. So he would go hustle pool. And then there was a pool place nearby. There was a place down the street. He wouldn't let me go see my mom. He was very, very rigid about me seeing my mother. He kept us apart. He was very controlling about my mom. He did not want her to see me. He was very, very strict about that.
Her mom was a suppressive person.
So there's a place down the street called the Pool Hall. And it was a bar, and it was owned by an Italian guy. And my dad started taking me there. None of my teachers knew, but that was by design. My dad told me, like, if anybody asks, like, don't, you're not home alone, of course. So I wasn't, and I never said anything, and I just kept to myself, and I walked to and from school. And so he took me to the bar like 3 or 4 nights a week, and I would be there till like 2 or 3 in the morning. And I would sit there, and that's where I met a guy that had a ferret. He brought a ferret in, and I was like, oh my God, Dad, I want it so bad. And my dad handed me cash, and I bought this ferret from this creepy guy in a bar. Like it was just crazy. But I will say, I don't know where I would be without those animals. I loved my animals so, so much. Can I play pool?
She learned human compassion from having these animals.
A pool table in our basement, and my dad played all the time. he showed me some things, but no. And my dad is a hell of a pool player. I mean, he is an incredible pool player to watch. He can do all the little tricks. He's really good at it. Hey, Deanna, it's okay. Welcome. So that went on for years. I would go to the bar with my dad at night. He would leave for like, I don't know, 3 to 7 days at a time. It would just depend. But my dad never really liked me. And it makes all the sense in the world why I am the way I am. It's actually good that I'm talking about this. I'm smiling a little bit because it helps me to process this in real time. He would come home after whatever, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, and I would see his truck pull up in the driveway, up in my bedroom window. And I would just get so excited. I was crazy about my dad.
Trigger alert. It's upsetting.
I really liked my dad. And I got so excited when he would come home. And he would come through the front door, and I would come running down the stairs, and I would go, Dad, you're home. And he would always do this to me. And he'd go, get back, Reese. Can you give me a minute? I just walked in the door. Give me a minute, okay? Like, my dad never touched me. He never hugged me. He was not lovey-dovey like that. And I always
Scientology destroys familial love and attention and affection, and connection.
Would like shrink of embarrassment. I always felt so embarrassed because I was desperate. Thank you.
Tampax Radiant has a dual protection.
Sorry for the commercials.
Christy Nome, the United States Secretary.
So Archie's mom, I was absolutely desperate for that human attention, right? Hey, Sharon. And every time I remember, I knew he was going to do it. After a while, I knew he was going to do that, but it never.
Again, sorry, this is so long. I had it at a better spot, but then I second thought myself and backed it up so you could hear some of the story, some of the background. It's worth hearing, though. Just bear with me.
I never stopped doing that. And I would go, Dad, you're home. And he'd go, get back, please, give me some space. He just didn't want to touch me. He was not touchy. He was not huggy. And I would just go back upstairs. And sometimes I would just sit there and cry. I was like, this is so embarrassing. I just felt so rejected. Like, you've been gone a week. Like, nobody's been here.
Made to feel foolish for having human emotion.
I've had my animals. I've walked up to the gas station to get food, but like, it's a big deal for me to see you, and he just didn't see it that way. So, I went to, my birthday is July 8th. So my birthday's in the summer. And I finished 9th grade when I was 13, and I was about to turn 14, but it was summer. So I finished 9th grade in May, Memorial Day. And I was going to turn 14 July 8th. And I finished 9th grade, and someone came from Kansas City to our house. Her name was Liz. She'd known me since I was born. And I knew her, and she came in and she worked at the Church of Scientology in Kansas City. She had been a staff member for a very long time. And she came to our house and she just dangled all this stuff in front of me. And she was like, hey, you have the summer off. Like, do you want to come down with me and do a bunch of courses and meet a bunch of people and have fun? And I was like, yeah, because I'm home alone all the time. Like, I'd love to come hang out with people and make some friends. So I go down with her, and I did all kinds of stuff. I did courses, and I did what's called a purification rundown, and I did all kinds of Scientology stuff, and I mastered it. I did really well. It was like the social setting I needed.
Yeah, I backtracked far too far, but we're coming up to the part where I wanted you guys to see it.
I was around people every day. I was excited. So I come back home. I don't know, I wasn't there very long. I was probably there a month. And I come back home, and my dad is really proud of me. For the first time, he was like, way to go. I got real validation from my father. I couldn't get, I love that, Shannon. We share a birthday. I couldn't get validation if I'd saved a baby out of a burning building. My father didn't give a holy shit what I did unless it was Scientology. So if I did something and accomplished something in Scientology, he'd look me in the eye. He'd be like, well done. Like I would get a smile. It was not common. Like I would
Only parental love she got was when she completed courses in Scientology.
come home and hand him my report card and be like, look, and he'd be like, are you kidding me? That's shit. Do something in Scientology. School doesn't matter. This is a joke. Like he would reject the shit out of that. Carolyn, I'm just really glad you're here. So I picked up on that immediately, that I got validation from the man that I've been desperate to get validation from for years, right? And I was like, really? And he was like, really? I'm so proud of you. Like those were words I had never heard. And I was like, wow. So like I knew at that point, I was like, oh shit, I know the switches now. Like I know what to do to get my dad to like me. So Liz shows back up, the same woman that came and got me. And she was like, you did great. You did really good those last few weeks on all the stuff you did. And I was like, I know, I loved meeting everybody. It was so much fun. And she's like, do you want to continue that fun and like come join staff? And I was like,
dropped out of school, went to join Scientology staff at 14.
Yes. Can I do that? I was like, do I go to school there? And she was like, oh no, there would be no school. You would be doing something way more important than school. At this point, you're going to become a person who's saving planet Earth. You're not going to school anymore. She was like, you're going to save planet Earth with the rest of this group. And my dad was like, oh, that's an honor. And I was like, hell yes, I want to go. So I signed the contract in our house. She brought the contract with her. And I signed a staff contract. It's a 2.5-year contract to be on staff. And I was like, hey, babe, safe flight. I love that. Looking forward to that. So I signed the contract, and my biggest concern was my animals, of course, right? Like I had a lot of animals. And I said, here's my only thing. Like I'll pack my bag, but I can come back, right? Like I can come back and forth. Like I want to be able to make sure my animals are fine. Honestly, Busey Sailor, I don't remember it very well. I was 13 at this point. I was 13. I had not yet turned 14. This was all like happened really fast. I was born in 84, Archie's mom. I'm 41. I'll be 42 this year. So they're like, my dad's like, oh yeah, your animals are going to be fine. You can come back. And Liz is like, yes, yes. You just have to get through the first few courses and then you can come back. Like they're just selling me on this idea. And I'm like, yeah, because I don't have.
This is the part.
Any friends here. I don't have a life here, right? Like I would love to go back to where I was. It's hopping, it's social, like there's people everywhere. I'm going to be on staff. Like I was like, this is a big deal. I'm going to be saving planet Earth. That's what how they articulate it, right? That's how it's all constructed. So I get there and I move in with Liz and her husband, Alex, and they have a daughter who I'm not going to say her name, but she was 5 years younger than me. She had never gone to school. She'd never been in school. She was raised in Scientology, doing Scientology courses. We live upstairs in the top floor of this house. There's no heat. There's no air conditioning. Like it was not quite what I thought, but it didn't matter because that was only for sleeping. I'm working about 14 hours a day. You're on staff 12 to 14 hours a day. You are at the church all day long working and studying the works of L. Ron Hubbard. So I get through my first few courses and I'm fast. I did it really quick. I did it in like a week. And I was like, I want to go see my animals. Like I did it. And they're like, well, you can't yet. You got to get through this. And so they put me through this and I'm like, okay. And my dad is calling me, like, I don't know, he doesn't come see me, but he's calling me like once or twice a week. And he's like, good job, great job. Like I'm getting that validation from him. I'm doing well on course. Like everybody's liking me. I'm getting along with people. And like another week goes by and I was like, well, I want to go see my animals though. Like I need to go see my animals.
This is the part that really tears me up.
And I called my dad and I was like, I finished this course. They said I could finish this. Now I want to come home and see my animals. And we'll just skip over this quickly, but my dad said to me on the phone, I got rid of him. No, Blojo, they did not have Day and Foundation in Kansas City. And I was like, I had those animals for years.
Took all of her pets to the pound.
Like, they were with me every time, every day I was home alone like that. They were always with me. And it was such a shock. And he just gave them to the pound. And I was so heartbroken. And I'm really upset because to this day, it's my fault. I feel like that's my fault. Like, if I hadn't have left,
check out Reese's story. Sorry that went on so long. I backed it up too far, but it's definitely a story worth watching and hearing. Check out Relatable Reese on her channel. This is my life born into Scientology. Let's move along. Next, I have a celebration. Joe Bananas celebrated 1 year anniversary recently, and I wanted to play a song from her from that celebration. Here we go.
They tell you it's the path to be free, a cleansing ritual of sanctity. But inside, the walls are closing in, your body aching. Where do you begin? Sweat it out, they say it's secure, but all you feel is empty and sure. The toxins fade, they say you're reborn, but what's left of you now, you're torn. Purification, the price too high, chasing freedom, but you're left to cry. Stripping the soul, they take it all, in the name of salvation you fall. Purification, broken mind, left behind. The truth is hard to find. Hours in the sauna, locked away, chasing ghosts in the heat day by day. Your body feels like it's burning out, while they promise peace, all you have is doubt. The chemicals are gone, but not the pain. The mental scars, they still remain. You search for answers, but they're hard to find. The silence speaks the truth, you're blind. Purification, the price too high, chasing freedom, but you're left to cry. Stripping the soul, they take it all, in the name of salvation you fall. Purification, a broken mind, left behind. The truth is hard to find.
That's the Purification Rundown. Check out Joe Bananas. She does great work. She's got some songs that are funny, some songs that are just really beautiful, and I really like this song, the Purification Rundown. It's a really good one. I appreciate you, Joe. Next, I want to show something fun, lighten the mood a little bit. This is Moose on the Loose. He was in Mardi Gras.
All right, so this is Mardi Gras 2026 in New Orleans. Oh, I gotta see if I could do the chant.
check out Moose. He is on the loose, and he was in Mardi Gras this week. He did Lundi Gras, Mardi Gras. He's always showing an interesting slice of life wherever he goes. Next, this one is a not Scientology related, but protest related and YouTuber related. This is 420 Audits Ireland. He captured a moment where a YouTuber in Dublin gets arrested.
He's trying to prank you, wrist. Elliot, he's trying to prank you, wrist.
Whoa, police brutality.
Relax on your wrist. Come back. Grab your wrist. Stop. You fucking wrist. Fucking sit down.
Check out 420 Audits Ireland. He's out there capturing slices of life and keeping tracks of the Garda and what they're up to. Be safe out there, Irish Marts. And next we have a little interesting find from The Journey 2020. She found a new Scientology building in Puerto Rico. Here we go.
Is this building. So this is going to be so a Scientology owned building. Put my body, and so this used to be a college. Is the new org, and guys, I love it. Right here. So I'm not sure exactly what this building is. But let me go back to the thing. Guys, there's a gay bar. Puerto Rico got your back. So if you can say you were just distributing way to happiness or whatever. But yeah. So there's that. Got a new building.
So yeah, interesting find. Not only is there a new Scientology building, but it happens to be right next to a gay bar. You know, we have some people that follow this channel that are in Puerto Rico. Wouldn't it be nice if that bar got an earful of how Scientology thinks of gay people? It's the SX, the club, like Sex the Club, Avenue Ponce de Leon, 1204 in San Juan. And there's a phone number here, easily Googleable, or you can zoom in on this screen if you happen to be in Puerto Rico. Maybe you should let them know just how Scientology views gay people as degraded and disgusting and immoral and truly despicable. That would be an interesting little side project to make sure that they're aware of their neighbors. I think a drag queen protest would be in order. I think that would be awesome. Get a little drag queen protest at the Scientology in Puerto Rico. I'm down for that. Okay, next I wanted to play a PSA warning from Lawyer Oyer, who used to work for the Justice Department in DC, and she gives a warning that could be useful to all protesters, so I wanted to play it.
Hey everybody. How would you feel if the FBI or the Department of Homeland Security copied the entire contents of your email account or your phone? If the answer is not good, you need to watch this. I'm Liz Oyer, the former pardon attorney for the Department of Justice. There are two stories I want to share that are cautionary tales for all of us. The first is about a 67-year-old retiree named John who lives in Pennsylvania. In October, John read a news story about DHS's efforts to deport an Afghan refugee who feared he'd be killed by the Taliban.
Just for speaking up in opposition, he was attacked by the FBI and the DHS.
If he returned to Afghanistan. John was worried about the man, so he picked up his computer, opened Gmail, and typed out an email to the prosecutor on the case, urging him to show compassion. He wrote, "Apply principles of common sense and decency." A few hours later, while watching TV with his wife, John got an email from Google informing him that the Department of Homeland Security had served a subpoena requiring Google to turn over the entire contents of John's account to DHS. DHS used something called an administrative subpoena, which does not require approval by a court. This was only the beginning for John. 2 weeks later, DHS agents showed up at his door to question him, all because of the email he wrote. The second story is about a Washington Post reporter named Hannah Nathanson, who covers the federal government. After DOGE started wreaking havoc on government agencies, over 1,000 federal employees reached out to Hannah to share their stories, confidentially, which is not a crime. Then, in January, the FBI showed up at Hannah's home with a warrant to seize her computers and her phone. And here's the craziest part.
Just for speaking out.
The warrant actually authorized the FBI to force Hannah to unlock the devices with biometrics, meaning her face or her fingerprint, so they could access the contents. So what can we do to protect ourselves? Well, I'm not a tech expert, but in Hannah's case, it turns out her iPhone was in lockdown mode, which is a setting that prevented the FBI from accessing her data with their normal tools. Another option is to disable biometrics and use a PIN instead. Law enforcement cannot require you to turn over your password. John's situation is tougher. Companies like Google are actually not even required to tell you if they get a subpoena for your account. In John's
Check out Lawyer Oyer. She used to work for the Department of Defense, the Department of Justice, and she knows her business. And I personally don't use biometrics on my phone. You're not going to chop off my finger and get into my phone, or just hold it up to my face and get access to it. Everything's PIN protected. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. That was a long show today. I had a lot to share, and that Reese one went on forever. Sorry about that. But yeah, it does sound like China and North Korea, Amy said. It's true. I'm going to glance through chat. Gmail is no good to use. Yeah, Gmail is no good to use. They just handed over everyone speaking out about ICE, all their Gmail account information from them. PIN is a good idea. Yeah, mine's only PIN. And I also use Proton Mail, which is not accessible by them. Their database is in Switzerland, and it is protected. Hi, hey, Carrie Ann. Oh, hey, Carrie Ann. I'm so glad you're here, because now we have Super Supportive Squirrel of the Day. And surprise, surprise, Super Supportive Squirrel of the Day is Hey, Carrie Ann. Hey, Carrie Ann has been a great supporter of so many. She has her own channel. Please check her out. Hey, Carrie Ann. And that adorable little picture of her dog Orion was created by Cricket Cinema. So Cricket Cinema gets a shout out too. We adore Cricket Cinema. We adore Hey, Carrie Ann. I saw Laura just popped in. Hi, Laura. Hi, Peter Anderson. Hey, Buttercup. Hey, Amy, there's so many people I didn't say hi to. I featured you earlier, Laura, with your Chris Shelton interview. Thanks for stopping in. Also, yes, I want to mention that the LA Board of Public Works is happening at 10 Pacific time today. I will be going live to do that. Hopefully some of you will show up for it. I know Jennifer said she's going to call in today, and she's already got her words figured out on what she's going to say. So I look forward to seeing what she has to say today. And thank you all for coming. Thank you all for being so supportive of everyone. Please check out these channels. I included all of the video links and the channel links in the description. Thanks, guys, for coming. I'm going to go now. It's been a long show. Love you guys. Go out and do something fun today. Fuck, guys. Bye.